What's up, everybody? This is Mike with Beach Bum Trades, and I want to cover a question I get asked quite often. What is your risk management style? So I'm just going to go over briefly the two styles that I do for options trading and for futures trading. It's very simple, so you'll be able to follow along. Let's get over to it. As you can probably see on my board back here, it's hard to see the writing. It's a little dark in here, but I got three things up there, and these primarily pertain to options trading. One, do not trade before 10 a.m. The first 30 minutes of the day is insane amounts of volume, and it's rather unpredictable, man. Some people are really good at pre-market analysis. I try not to because when I mess around with it, I'm often not right. So I just don't do it. We're limiting our risk right there off the bat. The second one says one and done, and it's written in green. So you have one green trade, you're done. It doesn't matter if it was like 18 bucks or 1800 bucks, you're green. You basically made money sitting on your ass doing nothing. Pretty good return right there. And the next one underneath it is two and through. If I have two bad trades in a row, we're done. And the reason we cap it off there is a lot of people, and even myself, we go on tilt because we know we're good traders. We've had great days. We've made 100, we made 1,000, we made 3,000, 5,000, 10,000. We've made all this money before. And, it's hard for us to accept the occasional loss, and oftentimes that loss may only be a couple $100, $200, maybe $500. But trying to chase it back, you could lose another 500. You could lose 1,000. I've had days where I was $100 in the green, don't accept it, and go $1,000 in the red. It's poor risk management. Oftentimes, when we're doing any trading, whether it's future or options, the biggest question we ask ourselves is, where do I put my stop loss? How much am I willing to lose? Where does this trade end? And I'm going to pull up some charts and maybe show you a few things that might be helpful. What I have pulled up right here is GC1 gold futures. I'm just going to use this as an example. The market's currently closed. It is Saturday at 5 p.m. and I should really have something better to do than this, but let's go over it anyways. Let's scroll back through this real quick because I try to leave my stuff marked on here. Here's one from Thursday. So I have an area where price is revisited. I'm looking for the short on it. I usually draw my little purple blocks, and then I look again for another place where it's revisited. Well, that may be it's way back here on Wednesday night at 1900 hours. This is a small trade, most likely one or two contracts only. Um, but as far as my risk that I'm willing to do here, I don't typically do a ratio. Some people are like, I only take a 2-to-1 trade. You can see on the screen your risk reward ratio 1.61. I base mine off of candlestick structure, and especially if I have uh, evals that I'm working through on futures, I don't mind letting it go a little bit farther. The pros, I tend to keep them um, tighter, maybe closer to a 1-to-1, because I'm looking for 100, 200, $300 each on those. A handful of these pros, so just looking for base hits. Yes, the trade win continued on without us, and that's totally okay. What some people like to do too is they may have uh, one or two or three, five contracts here, and then when it gets to their TP, they may exit all of them except for one and let one of them just keep on running. And if they did, this one would have paid off nicely. But knowing when to get out is just as important as knowing when to get in, and then not looking back on it. Oftentimes, I'm done with this trade. I don't even see this. because I've moved on to something else. Here we go. I found another good example from Thursday night of last week. I was in the Discord live. I do my charting live too. If you're interested, feel free to join. It's free. There's no donations or premium or any of that crap. You can just join and pitch in or just watch and hang out. But I usually do this. I do this live right about 6 p.m. I hop on and I start marking out my areas of interest. You can see where I have a top, middle, and a bottom section that I'm looking for coming off the end of the day. Thursday, New York close into the next day open, the 6 p.m. open. You see where I've drawn my trend line here in my break. Let's go back to the 1 minute. Maybe you can see this better here. Oh my God, I'm lost. There we go. Here we go. That's a little bit better. All right. You can see where I've drawn my trend line, waiting for it to break. I'm typically a reversal trader. I like to see those big bearish moves. They tend to pay me better than the bullish moves. I'm bad at predicting those. I get no break. I let it run up. I broke my trend line this way. Um, my next trade would have been up here at the top, looking for either the short or the push through back up to highs from Thursday, all the way over here. Well, we didn't get it. We came back down, back into an area that, guess what, we've been before. One, two, three, four, now five, now six times. And we broke through that. That's the entry, taking it all the way down to an area where price has already been, all the way down here. And again, it goes a little farther, but honestly, who cares? This is 24,571 to 24,524. That's a great trade, man. And that was probably 3 or 4 contracts for me. I try not to go above 5, but again, my risk management, right here, based on candlestick structure. If we would have came back through this and broke the top right here, this would have just invalidated the trade for me. This would have been a probably a $250 loss, and then $1,000 gain. So I'd call that a pretty decent ratio. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Knowing when to exit your trade is just as important as knowing when to get in it. I know a lot of people, they enter in a trade, it goes red, and they got that faith. They just, oh, they can feel it. They can feel it. You could feel it in your plums. You know what I mean? I feel it in me nuggets. You can just feel that it's going to turn around any second. It's going to turn around any second. It's going to turn around any second. And it doesn't. It doesn't. Sometimes, yeah. But let's be honest with ourselves, man. It doesn't. And and we blow it. We blow evals, we blow pros. If you're on options, burn your contracts up. You're 50%, 75% in the hole. And by that time, you usually go, whatever. I'll let the contract expire. It's fine. I'll just let it run all the way out. Why am I just put $1,000 into this? What am I going to take $150 out for? Our attitudes towards trading have a very, very big impact on how successful we are. And I didn't know how important that was until I started doing this regularly. And going into it, even going into a day tired, or had a crappy day at work, or, stomach hurts, sick, whatever. I have bad days when I trade like that. Even when I'm looking at good setups, I don't know what it is, but if your mind's not clear and you're not focused on what you're doing, you're not going to get a good outcome. Just just stick by the simple rules, man. One and done, two and through. All right? You're going to be green. You're going to do just fine. Manage your risk wisely. Respect your stop losses too. I know it's so easy, especially on Tradeovate, to take that stop loss and slide it a little higher and a little higher and a little higher, and then you hear that gong, and you're like, oh my gosh, I just blew the account. Let's not do that. I know everybody watching this video has heard that noise at least once before. Another style that people use too is they have a trading buddy. And I have a couple of those. We hop in the Discord and we kind of keep each other in check. I'm having a bad day. I'm verbal about my trades. I said, "Hey man, I'm in drawdown $1,000 on 3 accounts right now." And I guarantee you, you got a good trading buddy, they'll speak up and they'll tell you to quit. They'll say, "Look, stop, walk away, go get some dinner, whatever. Go touch some grass, go for a run, jump in the ocean, whatever you need to do." But having a good trading buddy is nice too. And just remember, both of you can't be degens, all right? As fun as that is, both of you can't be degens. One of you's got to be the level-headed one in that trading partnership there, or else both of you guys are going to be blowing accounts. Another big one is to don't force your setups. You got a few that you like. Anybody who's traded with me in the Discord knows that I'm a big fan of the flag, the bear and the bull flag, preferably the bear flag. That's my setup. That's what I like to wait for. And just don't force it. Don't force trades. You're just going to keep going red and going red and going red. Just wait. There's times I get on the evening and I sit there for an hour and I don't take a single trade, and then I just turn the computer off. It's just not going to happen. It, price action's not there with you. So let it go. Oh my God. I almost forgot the biggest one that has cooked me so many times. Don't add to a losing position. I cannot tell you how many times, especially in options, where I got in, we're reaching my stop loss, and then I'm going to myself, man, that's where my entry should have been. You know what? I'm gonna add another I'm gonna add another 20 contracts, and now I'm in for 5 grand, and boy, it just blows through it. It blows through it like nothing. Never add to a losing position, please. Please don't do that. I hope this video was helpful for some of you guys. If you have other issues that I didn't cover on there, leave a comment or find me in Discord, find me on Instagram, TikTok, wherever, and we'll talk about it, man. Some people hop in the Discord just to talk about their bad days because it helps. I post my bad days too. You can see on the Learn from Your Losses channel we have. I've got days where I just have completely red accounts from top to bottom. Over trading, oversizing, forcing trades, um, not limiting my risk like I should be doing, and by putting it out there, it helps me. It helps me because I know other people see that and go, "Son of a bitch." So remember, guys, take care of these accounts. Treat them like you want to keep them forever, because it's what they're going to be to you. Is they're a little nest egg. They're a little extra spending money. It's taking the family on vacation. It's a little extra groceries. It's steak on a Friday. Gas money, beer money, whatever it is to you. Protect it. Take care of it. Manage that risk wisely, and go outside and get some sunlight.